Hello everybody, my name is Raccoon Bro. Welcome back to another reaction video, and welcome back to another edition in the Smash Bracket. I'm very glad that we are getting right back into another round of this good old show because, I'm very glad that they took the time they needed with Joker vs. Snake, but that being said, the wait time does feel, it gets to you, man. Which is, I'm sure, how my audience feels a little bit about Death Battle reviews, but hey, that's neither here nor there. We're here to talk about Smash Bracket, and coincidentally, they're doing a episode that was previously covered by Death Battle, Terry Bogard versus Ken Masters. And will it be the same result as the Death Battle? Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to see. I am very excited about it because they've been, from the little whips they showed of the animation, it did leave me pretty excited. Like, it looked like it was gonna have some fun facial expressions and choreography. So all that being said, let's get into the mayhem.
Who would win in a fight between Ken Masters from Street Fighter and Terry Bogard from SNK Fighting Games? I'm Ink, and this is Smash Bracket, the show where we put every character from Super Smash Bros. Into a giant animated tournament to figure out who's canonically the most powerful. Let's get into it.
Oh, is it gonna start out as Sprite?
Ken Masters was the son of incredibly rich hotel tycoons living out of San Francisco, California. His parents were so loaded that it took 20 minutes just to drive from the front yard to the main house. And as a result of this life of luxury, Ken slowly became a living Darman villain, becoming entire—
Jesus Christ, a Darman. Freaking, wow, yeah, those are some very accurate thumbnails, I must say. You immediately regrets it, man. At least that dude's self-aware.
Conceited, and caring more about having a good time than anything else. He had a general lack of respect for anyone around him and lived a life free of discipline. However, one morning Ken's father woke up and realized, holy crap, I have a selfish brat for a son, and it's time to step up my parenting and teach him that you can't just use money to solve all of your problems. Which he did by sending Ken away to train with an old martial arts master named Goken to learn discipline and respect in a temple far, far away in the Japanese wilderness.
That is sick.
So I guess do as he says, Ken, not as he does. When Ken first arrived at the temple, he was incredibly resistant to change and was skeptical of his new master. But after years of intense training, Ken slowly started to gain a respect for his master and see a new side to life. This was in no small part due to a fellow student at the dojo named Ryu. Ryu was the embodiment of everything that Ken Masters wasn't. While Ken tended to be hot-headed, optimistic, and chatty, Ryu was stoic and serious.
Music is so good.
Ryu focused on perfecting the fundamentals, whereas Ken took the fundamentals and added his own unorthodox, fiery spin to them. And even though Ken started as a conceited hothead, nothing quite humbles somebody like getting beat up time and time again, which is a lesson that Ryu made sure to teach his new friend. And through their time learning martial arts, Ryu served as something that Ken never really had in his entire life. A challenge.
That animation
but more
is so
than
cool.
That, he became something else that Ken never had. A brother. Ken was inspired by Ryu and strove to become an even better fighter than him. And as the two students trained under Goken, they learned a variety of powerful fighting techniques to get the edge up on each other. One of the boys would learn how to shoot powerful Hadokens from their fists, and then the other would learn that and how to launch themselves through the air like a spinning top while kicking. This rivalry and daily training continued for 11 years.
Also, Shoryuken squared. I like that.
But after over a decade of trying to best each other, Ken and Ryu always ended up neck and neck in their skill and abilities. In fact, these two are so close in power that later on in their lives they were scanned by a machine that showed their power as being statistically identical. And not only was their power a perfect match, but their skill level was also so close that it wasn't uncommon for them to fight an entire afternoon with neither coming out with clear victory.
I guess, yeah,
no matter
scaling
how
applies.
Powerful Ryu became, Ken was always right there to give him a run for his money and be an invaluable training partner.
It looks like fucking
and this
Thor.
period of training in their lives really shaped the two fighters into entirely different men.
I mean the Thor from the DBX.
They once were. Ken taught Ryu how to lighten up every now and then, and he kept him on his toes with his wild and unorthodox fighting style, whereas Ryu taught Ken the importance of respect, discipline, and fundamentals. Eventually, though, like all good things, their training came to an end. and the two
Aw.
went their separate ways to compete in various martial arts tournaments. Ken went back to America and entered several national tournaments,
Why would you go that way from Japan?
easily sweeping through the brackets and defeating the champion Zangief to claim
Well,
the
to be fair, I don't know how big the Pacific Ocean is, so who knows, maybe it is faster.
title as martial arts champion of the United States, which was no simple task. Zangief is strong enough that he's been able to suplex somebody out of orbit, and
What?
he's bragged that he can crush man's head like sparrowing between thighs.
Nah.
But Ken was able to take these attacks from him and take him out with
That was
very little
real?
issue. Long gone was the spoiled rich kid who lived life with a silver spoon in his mouth. Instead, through hard work and determination, Ken lived a life of honor and discipline. This new outlook on life was obvious to everybody who met him, and it even led him to meeting and marrying his wife,
I really
Eliza.
gotta
While
cosplay
Ryu
as
kept his
Ken
life
one of
focused
these
on martial
days.
arts exclusively, Ken decided to live a more balanced life. He settled down with Eliza, and together they had a son named Mel. Ken's parents also placed him in charge of running the family business. For the first time in his life, Ken truly had something to focus on besides just fighting. And for the first time in his life, he truly had meaning. But while you might be able to take the man out of the martial arts championships, you can never take the martial arts
take the
champion
martial
out of the
arts.
man. Even through his married life,
Aw.
Ken continued to compete in tournaments and went on several different adventures with his old friend Ryu. Together, these two have taken out evil dictators, traveled to different dimensions, and even fought their way through hell, decapitating zombies and still
Jeez.
making it home in time for dinner. There was also that time in the Street Fighter EX series where Ken and Ryu were dealing with dudes strong enough to punch them into Jupiter, but
What?
they just kept on fighting. And this fighting was more than just a pastime for Ken.
That was never mentioned in the death battle.
It was a way of life. It led
Jeez.
him to new friends and new family that he otherwise never would have met. His
Man.
journeys also led him to finding
This
new
might be
rivals
closer
to
than
push
I
him
thought.
even further in his abilities, such as Terry Bogard, the fierce fighter of Southtown. When Ken heard about a blonde fighter
Oh.
in red who could kick some serious butt, he traveled and joined a tournament just for the chance to face off against him. And while we never got a clear canonical winner between the two, we did get some really great moments, like Ken returning Terry's hat to him,
Aw.
or Terry saying that they shared a similar smell. Huh. But I don't just bring this up for the sake of today's battle. I think that Ken's eagerness to seek out new friends and new rivals wherever he can find them to push himself even further is indicative of what makes him such a formidable fighter. Ken is somebody who would have had every reason to live an easy and charmed life, gliding by on the success of his parents. But that isn't what he did. Ken is the kind of guy to run into fire just to see if it will make him stronger, all while keeping a smile on his face and a positive attitude. And he brings this attitude with him wherever he goes. When Ryu was struggling with evil impulses and most people were too weak or too afraid to confront him, Ken was the one to jump in and help bring him back from the brink.
Yay.
Ken Masters is undoubtedly one of the best fighters to ever live. But when it comes down to it, he's so much more than that at the same time. Ken is a testament that no matter where you start from, there's always a way to improve yourself and seek true fulfillment. While he had a rough start, by letting friends and family in, Ken allowed his pride to be broken down and he found something truly worth fighting for. He's seen some seriously dark things in his life, like, again, hell. But in the face of all of it,
Can't get
he
much
maintains
darker than
his
that.
fiery passion and sense of optimism. Always
Well, I
being
mean,
there
I
to
guess it
face
depends on how you look
impossible
at it.
odds and
It's
prove
gotta
that
be
he
pretty
truly
bright
is
down there with all the
master of
fire.
his own destiny. Now let's see how he stacks up against his opponent for today,
Terry
To
Bogard.
do that, I'm going to bring in a longtime friend and fellow content creator, Blastbox, to present the character.
Oh.
I'm incredibly excited to work with him, and his info will be in the description. Also, thank you, Blastbox, for saving me from this while I have a cold. I don't know if you could tell in my
Aw.
voice, but without further ado,
I mean, I was gonna say, but I didn't want to be rude. Yeah, I could tell there was a bit of a sickness there.
let's check out Terry Bogard.
All right, guest time.
One fateful day on the abrasive streets of Southtown, accomplished martial arts master Jeff Bogard is brutally killed by former fellow martial arts student
And it
Geese
looks
Howard,
terrible.
who was jealous that their master chose Jeff to learn the secret techniques of their art
Jeff,
instead of him.
You know what you did.
Unfortunately for Geese, Jeff's murder was witnessed by his recently adopted sons, including the one who would grow up to become known
a tale
as
as old
the
as time.
Hungry Wolf of Southtown, Terry Bogard.
Terry mother flippin' Bogard.
Terry vowed to avenge his father, along with his brother
You're
Andy,
done.
and the two agreed to take 10 years to hone their martial arts skills before challenging Geese. While Andy left to train in Japan, Terry stayed behind in America to train in the only place he had called home before being adopted, the streets.
Strats.
Knowing he had a long way to go before he could challenge Geese,
What game
Terry
is
took
this?
advantage of every opportunity
There are
find
so
to
many
become
King
a
of
better
Fighters
fighter.
games.
From mastering the skills passed down to him by his father, training under his father's mentor,
Honestly, for
and his
such
time
a
just wandering the
prolific
country,
series, they managed to
Terry
go pretty
became
under the
skilled
radar.
in a variety of fighting styles, including boxing, karate, kung
there are a
fu,
lot of people that didn't know
kickboxing,
who Terry
and
was
good
when he got
old-fashioned
announced.
street fighting. A strong start to be sure, but nothing that'll fill out the special move list in a fighting game.
True.
For that, we look at perhaps the most devastating skill Terry acquired on his journey. After seeking out Tung Fu Ru, the man who
Tung
trained
Fu.
both Terry's father and Geese, Terry was taught the ancient art of Hakyoku Seiken, the Holy Fist of 8 Ways. A fighting style that
bad.
allows the user to manipulate the Earth's chi. Once Terry had learned the ways of the Holy Fist, he incorporated it into his other fighting styles, giving him access to devastating
You can't beat her,
energy-based
Terry. She's
abilities,
cooler
like the
than
grounded
you.
projectile power wave, a devastating lunging punch, burn knuckle, the speedy axe kick, crack shoot,
I like
and whatever
seeing-
rising tackle.
I like how they're
And
editing
that's
the
just
sprites
the
in there.
starting line. Terry could push these abilities even
Yeah, that's
further
just
to
the stuff
unleash
we see in
his super
Smash.
special moves, like punching the ground to invoke the explosive power geyser and his iconic Buster Wolf. All of these skills and abilities
so
turn Terry into
beautiful.
an exceptional fighter. Terry is proven to
Love
be
the art in
powerful
these
enough to
games.
blow up an entire concrete roof. An explosion that Terry survived like it was nothing, by the way. So, after his 10 years of intensive training, Terry returned to Southtown so that he could enter the King of Fighters, Geese Howard's own yearly martial arts tournament in which he seeks out the best fighters the world has to offer.
This
Here,
game is
Terry
impossible
knew he
for
would
me to
finally
beat, by
have
the
his
way.
chance to avenge
I
his
tried
father.
it so
he
many
successfully fought
times,
through the
and
entire tournament, including defeating the
not once.
previous champion, who was Geese's right-hand man, earning Terry the right to battle Geese himself. Terry was able to best him in their battle, kicking him off his own tower, avenging his father, and presumably killing Geese Howard.
Presumably.
And then Geese's half-brother, like a year after that. Then Geese again after that. Of course, he wasn't actually dead. And then Geese again, for the final time, actually killing him.
Okay.
Probably, at least as far as we know. To his credit, Terry at least tried to save him that time, which is a genuine testament to his character. Despite all of these ruthless, or sometimes
See, I knew you would survive those other building falls, but this building's different.
even vengeful battles, the years of rigorous training, or his incredibly harsh childhood, it never once weathered Terry's kind heart, actually becoming friends with many of the fighters he met on his journey, and even choosing to dedicate time to a romantic relationship with fellow Fatal Fury fighter Blue Mary.
Oh,
Even at the
I didn't
end,
know that.
after defeating his rival for the final time, Terry decided to adopt Geese's son, Rock Howard.
I did
not
know
to
that.
spite his old enemy, but to find meaningful and satisfactory resolution to their feud for both himself and for another kid who lost his father as a result of this vicious rivalry. All of that just coming from the genuinely warm and heartfelt guy Terry is, past all the punching and power waving.
Imagine if instead Geese adopted Terry for the exact same reason. How different that would be a fun alternate, I think.
And
Like, what
hilariously
if?
translated win quotes. And all of that is
What did it say?
punching and power waving and hilariously translated
What do you call a guy with broken arms and legs floating in a pool? Bob.
win quotes. And all
Fine.
of that is just his story from the Fatal Fury series. Many of Terry's most impressive feats come from the alternate universe story taking place in SNK's flagship series, the crossover
of
fighting game,
Fighters.
The King of Fighters. Yep, named after Geese's tournament that Terry entered. Despite not being the protagonist of this story, Terry still racked up a serious list of feats, including surviving multiple explosions powerful enough to demolish buildings, and being able to survive blows from many of KOF's strongest fighters, like Chang, who was strong enough to knock his opponent across the entire
Whoa.
world. And it's not all just taking the punches. Terry also impresses on the offense. He can destroy concrete pillars with a single kick, detonate large sections of a forest with a single punch to the ground, and he's even capable of damaging multiple cast members who are strong enough to survive a blast from the city-busting Zero Cannon. And Terry's not done
the
yet.
Zero
All that
Cannon.
power does not come at the cost of speed.
It's,
Most impressively,
you
Terry
can't
was able
talk
to
about a
dodge an
King of Fighters
incoming
character
bullet
without,
point blank without
you
so
know,
much as a
bringing
flinch.
that up.
Don't let the laid-back persona fool you. Terry
Whoa.
is a fighting force to be
I'm gonna
reckoned
kill
with,
all of you.
keeping up with many of the strongest fighters seen in his universes. Like that time where he beat the the actual god of war, Mars. Okay, since
So that was
when
actually
did Terry
Mars.
pull off so much crazy stuff in the animations? I've only played Terry's game where his most impressive feat is like winning an arcade arm wrestling game. All right, Smash Bracket team, kinda opening my eyes here a little bit.
This dramatic enough for you? Hey.
In the end, that
Hey.
exceptional combat prowess is only half
Ooh, I
of
love
what
this
makes
song.
Terry such a special combatant in the world of fighting games.
I should have mentioned,
Unlike
by the way,
many
I
of the
also
fighters
enjoy,
from his game or others.
Fatal
Terry
Fury
takes
music
a
as well,
genuine
and King of Fighters
joy
music.
from the experience of fighting. Terry is just always happy to show up to the next bout, whether he's just helping out a friend or facing down a god. Like the player shoving quarters into his arcade cabinet, Terry's just happy to be there. Be there to fight, be there at the local bar with friends, be there training his son to fight just like his father taught him. It's such a rare and special mix for a fighting game protagonist to be an unrelenting powerhouse in battle, but also just a great, wholesome, all-American dad, someone I just want to be my friend. I mean, his favorite hobby is gaming, and he has a pet monkey named Yuki. Tell me you don't want to go
What?
play video games with Terry rockin' Yuki right now. You can't do it. Heck, my segment's wrapping up anyway. I might go do that right now. That is
Live your best
Terry
life,
Bogard,
Blastbox.
the legendary
Live
wolf
your
from
best life.
Southtown. Thank you so much to the Smash Bracket team for letting me come on here and tell you all about my boy.
Hey, come on.
I do appreciate it. Here's to a good, clean fight between two of my favorite blondes in fighting games. Live and let die. Ink, the floor is yours.
Thanks for that, Blastbox. As I said, Blast is a longtime YouTube friend of mine and makes excellent content. Please consider checking his stuff out below. But with that said, it's time for our fight. If you want to help support the series and enable us to finish this project to the end, please consider checking us out on Patreon or YouTube membership. We've got early works in progress,
Ooh,
music,
cool.
artwork, and other behind-the-scenes content that I share from time to time.
Yeah.
Even just a few dollars per
Oh,
month is a
I'm
huge
so
help.
excited
But with that
for
out of the
all
way,
of that.
let's find out who will advance on to the next round of the Smash Bracket
All
and
right.
who will be disqualified.
All right, I'm thinking Terry's probably gonna win. They're trying to throw me off with those crazy feats from the EX, but I feel like Terry's just got the better experience and the better power arsenal at his disposal, so I'm still gonna go with Terry. I don't think Death Battle got
Didn't
that
even
wrong.
stand a chance. We both knew we had to get strong.
Hey, Lucario's back.
We've been traveling together ever since then. I can feel him beginning to push my limits.
I see.
Mewtwo's
That
still
sounds
dead.
pretty intense, but if it means keeping Eliza and Mel safe, we've really got no choice. That said, if we want to win, we're gonna need backup. And I think I know just the guy.
Hell yeah, brother.
Whoopsie! I didn't mean to strike the wrong chord with you. I'm not loving rolling to your rock. So let's boogie!
Ooh, tempting offer, handsome. But unfortunately, it's time to play your outro. Oh, what a weak little whelp you turned out to be. Maybe next time don't play it by...
Ooh.
Hey, pal.
Cannon for the assist.
Miss me?
Ken Masters, you big silly.
Good to have Paxton Lee back, by the way.
Yeah, well,
He voiced Archie Sonic in the same show.
you know how it goes. I was in your neck of the woods and in the mood to uppercut a grungy witch. Figured now was as good of a time as any to show you how strong I've gotten.
Oh, is that so? Well, alrighty. I'm in the mood for an easy win.
Perfect. Bring it on, pretty boy.
Woohoo! Fight!
Time for an encore.
Ooh.
Oh, shit. That was supposed to be a music blast.
Yeah!
Magic is so freaky.
It's not so bad. This seems like a pretty good place to train.
Oh, this is crazy looking.
Oh yeah, time to party.
I'm ready for you.
This is a interesting, really interesting animation style. Like, it feels like it's hands-on, but also with a third dimension to it as well. Great. I really like this. Oh. I can forgive the gray background, by the way. You know, I understand. You know what? You can't put everything into this.
This is my fatal fury.
Oh, I like that. Gross. You don't know where those feet have been, Ken. Oh. Headed back. Ooh. Hope we don't run into any Ninja Turtles down here.
This place reeks!
You share a similar smell.
I just came from training.
You share a similar smell. What?
Ninjas!
I called it.
Hey, Terry. I think we've got company.
Oh, you think? If you them, two of us. Poor little guys.
$10 says I can take down more ninjas than you. Deal?
Go on.
Oh, that's cheating.
Nope. I like how they're still fighting each other. Like, the Foot Clan are just kind of there for fun. I would not have guessed that. I would not have expected this dimension hopping.
I look good.
I'm more of a Marvel guy.
Like this is really ambitious for a single episode. I'm very impressed. Poor Kirby.
Hey, come on. Are you okay?
Never better, pal.
When will it end? Oh, this place looks familiar.
This is giving me a headache.
You could always just give up.
It should give you a headache. The last time you were here, your head got blown off.
Fat chance.
Yep. Yeah, Rick just leaning into that. Woo!
Too easy.
Oh yeah.
Aw, giving up already?
Come on, Terry. Not my fight
Against a
money.
weenie like you? Never.
Let's go.
Okay.
I like this tracking shot. Are you okay? Are you okay? Not again.
Okay, let's get serious.
Let's end this.
All right. Time for the climactic finale, y'all.
Okay.
Woo! Come on!
Are you okay?
Buster, woo! Woo! Yeah, baby.
And there you go. This was an incredibly fun match, but it wasn't exactly a close match.
Yeah.
While both fighters have dedicated themselves to the art of fighting, Terry is just cut from a different cloth. This bullet dodge is way faster than anything that Ken's been able to perform.
No
and Terry
kidding.
is able to hit hard enough to hurt fighters capable of taking 0 damage from the Zero Cannon, which was devastating.
Since Terry is able to damage foes who take no damage from a cannon that is capable of destroying the city, it is safe to assume he is hitting harder than the cannon. This kind of power output is substantiated by the fact that Terry's strength is partially what powers
Enough
the
to
cannon.
obliterate an
Oh,
entire
that's
city.
interesting.
While Ken has been able to fight toe-to-toe with some of the best fighters in his universe, Terry's been able to hold his own and outmatch the literal god of war. And that's not
Yeah.
even the only god that Terry's fought to a standstill. King of Fighters gets weird sometimes. So Terry's
Thanks,
not
KOF.
only likely the faster of the two and the more skilled fighter, but when you look at their best strength and durability feats, it really just puts the nail in the coffin of any chance that Ken had.
I assumed that would have been a bit bigger, but oh well.
If we assume that Ken was able to hit just as hard as Ryu in his base form, Ken would need to hit Terry over 186,000 times at his Ryu in the Coffin Shield Fighter, but when you look at their best strength and durability feats, it really just puts the nail in the coffin of any chance that Ken had. If we assume that Ken was able to hit just as hard as Ryu in his base form,
that's a little weird. Okay. So I guess Ken is more durable then, according to these numbers.
Ken would need to hit Terry over 186,000 times at his maximum power in order to take the victory, whereas Terry would only need to hit Ken about 15 times. There's just almost zero chance that Ken would be able to ever take this match. Heck, Terry even does better dad jokes than Ken. Terry Bogard is the winner.
Too strong,
we'll be moving on to the next round of the Smash Bracket.
Well earned, Terry.
Next time on the Smash Bracket.
Wolf versus Incineroar? No. Oh, Link versus Ridley! All right.
Ridley versus...
It's time for a rematch. Damn. Love how brutal that is. All right. Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Blastbox, for guest starring and helping Ink out with the analysis. This was a fun one, I must say. I was very entertained by all the dimension hopping mayhem going on, the wide variety of different aesthetics was very pleasing to the eye. I can't think of one that really outstayed its welcome or one that was like far better than the others. Like it felt like it all got a like equal chance to shine, and I'm very happy with how this turned out. As someone who doesn't really consider themselves a Street Fighter or King of Fighter fan, I'm still really glad with how they respected and treated the characters. It's something that you can always rely on with Smash Bracket, especially with the more story-oriented guys. So thank you all so much for joining me. Good job to everyone on the Smash Bracket team. I feel, and all the researchers and the voice actors who were on it. Oh, Lucari, yeah. Was that? Oh my God! Look, I gotta go back. Hang on. Hang on.
Join the foot or be destroyed! Hey, Terry, I think we've got company.
Oh, you think? It's you, them, two of us. Poor little guys.
$10.
Is that Nemesis? Was that actually Nemesis? Oh, wow. Okay, you know what? Fair enough. All right. I was going to say about Lucari that we're in a video game together, but that just kind of took my attention away. So, yeah, thank you all for joining me. Great job to the Smash Bracket team, and I'll be sure to tune in for the next video. Take care.